Hey Jennifer, great to see you this morning. Well done with the exercises. I thought it was a really good session. I was really pleased with the outcome, that your leg is responding to what we're doing. So further work just needs to be done, and I think you'll be good to go for London. So, but it's important that we just keep checking week by week just to see how things are ticking along, then take it from there. So I've got an idea what to do, but I'll put that in the message. Okay, so exercises. So the ones to do most often. Okay, so this is little and often throughout the day. Okay, now some are going to be easier to do than others, but these are the ones to do. Okay, so we're going to take it, start with this one. Okay, so doing maybe 4 or 5, then try and increase the range, 4 or 5, then try and get a little bit further, and even actually in the last 5 add a little bit more power. Okay, so it's getting the muscles working a lot harder, but this is essentially getting them working harder to do what we need them to do. Okay, so same on the other side. Okay, otherwise you'll probably be round and round in circles. Right, okay, so then 5, so exactly the same again. Now, the next one to do is doing just, I'd say do this as a warm-up exercise anyway. So get out of bed, do this in the gym, at work. Okay, we'll do it this way, okay, just to start with. Then focus on one side, so stand with your back to a wall so that you're reaching round to touch the wall and getting to the point, so just 2 or 3, get to the point where you're having to work hard. Now, try and avoid leaning back to do it. What you want to try and do is twist around to do it, because that will get the arch lifting a little bit more. So you're looking maybe about 15 reps, 20 reps. Don't worry about the numbers, but it's getting a good number where you're having to work. Okay. Then the other one is simply the knee raise. Okay. Slowly. Then 3 or 4 up to waist height. Then try and get more of the knee coming up higher. Okay, so you want to try and keep the chest up, keep the back straight. So if you're trying to look over the neighbour's fence, so you want it almost to get it up to about chest height. Okay, that's the aim. That's going to take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. Now, the other one to do, especially if you're at work and do this in the gym, is the one that we did at the wall, because I think you did that very, very well, but this could be actually a really good one to do, because it loosens up quite a lot of things. Okay, so hand, not quite the full palm of the hand, but mostly the bone here. Okay, so you just want the outside of the hand on the wall. Then keep the arm straight, so as you twist round, you're bringing the hand in, you're reaching back to try and bring the hands to get the fingertips together. Then do the same on the way back. Okay, now each time you do it, try and lower your hand and so forth to try and take it as low as you can. Now, when you're at home, the key one to do just out in the pavement. Now, in the gym, try the edge of a mat to do this. So the step over exercise, you're doing it, so an edge of a good thick fitness mat. Okay, so the height of the paved bit outside your house, so it's just that subtle raise. Okay, so if they've got, let's say, a fitness mat would do, or find something else that might do the trick. And that way, putting it under the arch, under the foot, and do the step overs that way. Okay, now the exercises to focus on at home. So let's say do the side lunge, where you're reaching to the inside of the knee. 3 or 4. Go a little bit deeper. Then deeper still, but try and keep the chest up. Okay. The more you keep the chest up and reach down, the more loading you're going to put on the hip, and that's what we're looking for. Okay. If you reach down, you probably won't get that. You're more likely to cheat. So again, do that both sides. Now, the key sequence here is, so body weight forward, find a marker for your nose. So you want to try and get the knee through as far as you can. All in control. And you're aiming for about 10 reps each side. From there, you want to bring the knee round to the elbow, to the outside of the elbow. Okay, so it's not just a case of doing that. You basically want to do that. Again, aim for up to 10 each side. Quality is the most important thing here, so don't worry too much about the numbers. Get the quality. As soon as it starts to feel like you can't do that as well as you could do at the beginning, just stop. Okay. The next one, the next two, these are new ones. Okay. So this is trying to slide the leg under. 10 each side. Then the last one. Now, this is trying not to get just the leg going just over there. You want it to try and get round as far as you can. So think of trying to get the foot round, level with the hands. It's tough, 10 each side. It's going to be tough, but I want you to work to try and get as close to level with your hands as possible. So it's not just there. You want to lift up and get it round. Okay, because that's really going to work the hips. Do these at the gym. Do these at home. Okay, so lunchtime, evening. So a lot of it looks a lot, but it's not. Okay, it shouldn't take you that long at all. Just focus on a single set of each, but it's more about the frequency to do it rather than volume. Okay, one more to do, again, gym and at home. So this is doing squat jumps, but trying to land lightly. And the same here, just landing, springing. Then at the start of your runs, high knees, just to get that springiness in the feet, then off you go. Okay, try all these, see how you get on. Let me know any questions, but we'll keep in touch anyway, see how things are going. Then hopefully all okay, then we can just progress the distance.